Do you have any dislike for Jake Paul? Like, you want to teach him a lesson?
I would do just that, but dislike him, you know, never for money, only glory. I would never risk my health for money.
All the legends, the myths, because you're Iron Mike Tyson, but I have an iron chin. People know that. Like, I take shots. So I think people are underestimating that me being able to deal with his power. And that is what something that is going to make it interesting. Obviously.
There's no nerves in you at all about this.
Listen, will you please promise me you're going to kick this guy's ass and shut him up, please?
Hey, I will do just that for you. I don't think he's faster than me.
Right. How hard are you training?
I train every day.
Okay. How many hours a day you training?
I take it serious. Listen. And that's my personality. Like right now, I'm scared to death. But as the fight gets closer, the less nervous I become because it's reality. And in reality, I'm invincible.
The boxing world was sent reeling after a brash interview with YouTuber-turned-fighter Jake Paul saw him disrespect the legendary trainer CUS D'Amato in a way that left everyone speechless. D'Amato, revered for molding a young Mike Tyson into the heavyweight champion of the world, is considered one of the most influential figures in boxing history. His passing left a lasting impact on Tyson, who continues to credit D'Amato for his success. So, when Paul, in his usual brash manner, declared D'Amato the worst coach of all time in a recent interview, it ignited a firestorm within Iron Mike. Paul, fresh off a string of victories over fellow YouTubers and retired athletes, took aim at D'Amato in an interview. He downplayed D'Amato's training methods, suggesting they were outdated and wouldn't work in the modern boxing era. Respect to the old-timers, Paul said, but come on, we've evolved. We have new training techniques, better nutrition. D'Amato wouldn't know what to do with a guy like me. In a recent interview, Jake Paul made disparaging remarks about CUS D'Amato, questioning his methods and belittling his contributions to boxing. I don't get the hype around CUS D'Amato, Paul said. People act like he was some genius trainer, but I don't see it. His techniques are outdated, and his fighters wouldn't stand a chance against modern boxers. CUS was like a father to me, Tyson stated, his voice laced with barely contained anger. He took me off the streets, showed me discipline, and turned me into the fighter I became. For someone like Jake Paul, who has never achieved a fraction of what I have, to disrespect him like that, it's infuriating. Tyson went on to detail the profound impact D'Amato had on his life. He taught me more than just how to fight. He taught me respect, dedication, and what it means to be a champion. He wasn't just a trainer, he was a mentor, a friend. The sting of Paul's comments was evident in Tyson's words, a deep betrayal simmering beneath the surface. The boxing community echoed Tyson's outrage. Former champions and trainers alike spoke out against Paul's lack of respect for boxing history. Many pointed out that Paul, despite his undefeated professional record, had yet to face a true contender, let alone someone with the pedigree of Mike Tyson. Undeterred by the mounting criticism, Paul doubled down on his comments. This only fanned the flames of Tyson's anger. In a social media post, Tyson addressed Paul directly. "You think boxing is a game? It's more than flashy knockouts and social media clout. Show some respect to the legends who paved the way for you. Maybe then you'll understand what it takes to be a real fighter." The war of words has left boxing fans wondering if there will be more to this story. Will Tyson, ever the fierce competitor, step into the ring to defend D'Amato's honor? Or will this remain a war fought on social media? One thing is certain. Jake Paul has awakened a sleeping giant in Mike Tyson, and the boxing world waits with bated breath to see how this saga unfolds.
That's the only way it could happen, right? His exhibition, just for the weight.
Yeah. And his footwork sucks. Like, once I'm learning more about the sport, it's like he's fast and quick and been doing it his whole life, obviously, but his feet are terrible apart. He got flat-footed, stuck.
A name synonymous with raw power and ferocious boxing, rarely minces words. So when YouTuber-turned-boxer Jake Paul took a swipe at Tyson's legendary trainer, CUS D'Amato, the boxing world braced itself. The resulting back and forth between these two figures, separated by generations and fighting styles, became a spectacle in itself. It all started with Paul, fresh off his victories over fellow social media personalities and retired athletes, downplaying D'Amato's training methods in an interview. "Respect to the old-timers," Paul said. "But come on, we've evolved. We have new training techniques, better nutrition." D'Amato wouldn't know what to do with a guy like me. This was a direct shot at the man who molded a young, undisciplined Tyson into the youngest heavyweight champion ever. D'Amato's methods were unconventional, focusing on mental fortitude and a peekaboo style that emphasized defense and counterpunching. Yet, the results spoke for themselves. Tyson, under D'Amato's tutelage, became a force of nature, a whirlwind of power and precision that dominated the heavyweight division. Tyson, upon hearing Paul's comments, erupted. "Mr. D'Amato dedicated his life to the sweet science," Tyson said in a fiery interview. "He wasn't interested in fame, just in making champions. He built me from the ground up, taught me respect for the sport, and for those who came before me. Maybe this Jake Paul should focus on learning some boxing history before he throws shade at the greats." The interview went viral. Boxing fans, especially those who witnessed Tyson's reign in the 80s and 90s, stood firmly behind him. "CUS D'Amato may not have had access to fancy gyms or social media coaches," one commentator said, "but he created a legend. Can Jake Paul say the same?" Paul, however, remained defiant. "Look," he countered in a video response, "I respect what CUS D'Amato did for Mike Tyson, but boxing is a business now. It's about entertainment as much as the fight itself. I'm bringing a new audience to the sport. Maybe the old guard should show some appreciation for that." The seeds of this clash were sown 2 years prior. Paul, boasting after victories over fellow YouTubers and retired athletes, took aim at D'Amato in an interview. "Respect to the old-timers," Paul said dismissively, "but boxing has evolved. D'Amato's methods wouldn't work today." These comments struck a deep chord with Tyson. D'Amato was more than just a trainer. He was a father figure who transformed a troubled youth into a boxing prodigy. Tyson, known for his candor, didn't hold back. "Mr. D'Amato wasn't about fame," Tyson roared in a now-famous interview. "He built champions the old-fashioned way, with discipline and respect for the sport. Maybe Jake Paul should learn some history before disrespecting legends." Back and forth escalated when the exhibition match was announced. Fans were divided. Some yearned to see Iron Mike back in the ring, even in an exhibition. Others questioned the legitimacy of pitting a boxing legend against a relative novice, fueled by social media hype. Tyson, however, saw this as an opportunity to settle a score. "This isn't just about a fight," Tyson declared in a press conference, his voice laced with a dangerous calm. "This is about respect. Jake Paul disrespected the man who made me who I am. Now, he's going to learn what happens when you disrespect the sweet science." Training videos of Tyson, seemingly ageless in his ferocity, flooded social media. "I may not be the youngest anymore," Tyson said in a training montage, "but the fire still burns. And this time it's fueled by respect for Mr. D'Amato's legacy." Paul, ever the showman, responded with his own training videos and trash talk. However, a hint of unease seemed to flicker behind his bravado. Fans began to wonder, was Jake Paul truly prepared for the raw power and experience of Mike Tyson, even in an exhibition? The fight, dubbed the War of Words Made Flesh, became a cultural phenomenon. Whether it was a grudge match or a spectacle, one thing was certain. The boxing world watched with bated breath. Tyson deliver the knockout he promised, or would Paul pull off a shocking upset? Only time and the roar of the crowd would tell.
What if
You two.
I'm too sharp and fast.
That's it. Nothing
That's
like
it.
personal, no spiritual.
Oh, I mean, I think just being active and like being the man in the arena for years and years now, like I don't even get nervous. Like the nerves are not even there anymore.
Yeah,
Like
but it hasn't been the man in the arena. It's been the man. It's been the man in the arena, but not the man in the stadium. So
well,
that
I guess
is a
it's the
whole
same
different.
shit. I think an arena, it can feel more intimate and personal. This is gonna be like, it's not even gonna feel as crazy. I don't think. Actually, like if you're
YouTube star turned boxer Jake Paul was riding a wave of success after defeating fellow social media personalities and retired athletes. However, his sights were set on a bigger target, the legendary heavyweight Mike Tyson. Fueling the flames of controversy, Paul made a series of brash statements that sent shockwaves through the boxing world. It all began with a seemingly innocuous comment about Tyson's late trainer, CUS D'Amato. "Respect to the old-timers," Paul said in an interview. "But boxing has evolved. We have new training techniques, better nutrition. D'Amato wouldn't know what to do with a guy like me." This offhand remark ignited a firestorm. Mike Tyson, the ferocious boxer sculpted by D'Amato, wasn't about to let such disrespect go unchecked. "Mr. D'Amato dedicated his life to boxing," Tyson thundered in a response interview. "He wasn't interested in fame, just in making champions. Maybe this Jake Paul should focus on learning some boxing history before he throws shade at the greats. The tension escalated when rumors of an exhibition fight between Paul and Tyson began swirling. Capitalizing on the hype, Paul upped the ante with a series of social media posts and interviews. "This fight isn't just about me," Paul declared in a video, a glint of steel in his eyes. "It's about a new generation taking over. Tyson's time has come and gone. On July 20th, I'm sending him into retirement permanently." But it was Paul's next statement that truly shocked the world. "I've already got the shovel picked out," Paul said in a now infamous interview, a chilling smile playing on his lips. "Because after I KO him in the ring, I'm gonna bury him next to his daughter." This comment was met with a wave of outrage. Even Paul's supporters found it distasteful, a crude attempt to get under Tyson's skin. Boxing purists condemned it as disrespectful and unnecessary. Tyson himself remained silent, but the fire in his eyes during a press conference spoke volumes. The July 20th fight became a spectacle unlike any other. Would Paul back up his boasts, or would Tyson silence the young upstart with a devastating knockout? The world watched with morbid fascination, unsure if they were witnessing a sporting event or a public humiliation. Whether Paul's strategy of disrespect was effective or simply crass remains a matter of debate. One thing is certain, it propelled the fight into the spotlight, blurring the lines between entertainment and athletic competition. The outcome of the fight itself became secondary to the drama that unfolded outside the ring. The legacy of this clash, however, will likely be the stain it left on sportsmanship and the boundaries of acceptable pre-fight trash talk. The bravado didn't stop there. Paul, ever the showman, doubled down on his outrageous claims. "This fight won't even go the distance," he declared in another interview, his voice dripping with mock sympathy. "I respect Mike Tyson's legacy, but Father Time is undefeated. His reflexes are shot, his chin is suspect. He's a legend, sure, but legends get knocked out too. And on July 20th, I'm writing a new chapter in boxing history with a first-round KO." Tyson's camp remained tight-lipped, letting Paul's taunts hang in the air. Boxing analysts, however, were divided. Some dismissed Paul's claims as pure bluster, highlighting the vast gulf in experience between the two fighters. Others, however, acknowledged Paul's power and dedication, leaving a sliver of doubt about Tyson's ability to withstand a young fighter's onslaught. As the fight date approached, the atmosphere crackled with anticipation. Paul's youthful exuberance translate to punching power enough to fell a legend? Or would Tyson, fueled by years of experience and a simmering rage, silence the doubters with a vintage knockout? The only way to find out was on July 20th, when the two fighters would step into the ring, their contrasting styles and personalities clashing in a spectacle that would forever be etched in boxing history.
And that helped drive you through all of those matches, all those wins you had?
I always believe that adversity. I always believe that adversity or nervousness, it like pretty much catapulted me into success. If I didn't have these feelings, I wouldn't go into this fight. I have to have these feelings to fight. Without them, I would never go in the ring. I don't know. Maybe it has something to do with my tripolar tendencies or something. But I don't think I'll be smoking for this fight, and I think I'm going to be really, really irritable and nasty.
With Paul's disrespectful comments about Tyson's late trainer, CUS AMATO, ignited a war of words, with Tyson vowing to teach Paul respect for the sport. Then, just as fight negotiations seemed to be heating up, Paul announced he was stepping away from boxing to focus on his business ventures. This move shocked fans and industry insiders alike, considering the lucrative payday a Tyson fight promised. But suspicion arose when cryptic training videos of Paul surfaced online. These glimpses of him working out with renewed intensity hinted at a different story. Boxing commentators began to speculate. "It's a classic misdirection play," one said. "He wants Tyson's team to underestimate him. Retirement might be a smokescreen to lull them into a false sense of security." These suspicions were confirmed when Paul, in a dramatic online video, declared his retirement a mere fun hiatus and announced his return to the ring, with the Tyson fight back on the table. This unexpected turn of events left Tyson's team scrambling. Had they fallen victim to Paul's elaborate ploy? The question hung heavy in the air, turning the pre-fight buzz into confusion. However, Mike Tyson wasn't one to be played. Infuriated by Paul's manipulation, Tyson's legal team filed a lawsuit against the YouTuber boxer. The lawsuit alleged breach of contract and deceptive practices. "This isn't just about the fight," Tyson stated in a press conference, his voice laced with anger. "It's about respecting the sport and the fans. Jake Paul's faked retirement was a mockery of everything boxing stands for. The lawsuit sent shockwaves through the boxing world. Legal experts weighed in on the intricacies of the case. Would the court see Paul's retirement announcement as a binding contract or a strategic maneuver? The outcome would not only impact the Tyson versus Paul fight, but also set a precedent for future celebrity boxing exhibitions. Meanwhile, Paul downplayed the lawsuit, calling it a weak attempt to distract from his skills in the ring. However, the lawsuit cast a shadow over his carefully crafted image. Fans and media outlets began to scrutinize his tactics, questioning his sportsmanship and commitment to fair play.